Hi everyone. Thanks for joining today's session. Today's session we are going to talk about agent core memory. In previous couple of sessions we have talked about how to leverage agent core runtime and how to develop a application agentic application using a strands and agent core right from beginning to end using a Kiro. This is the third session of the series. We are going to talk about how to add a memory to the agentic application and why this is very important when we are building an agent. Okay. So any application, anything you are doing it, right? Any agent application you're building, if you're building a simple single agent application, you can always see there is a context loss because if you ask some question and if you are, let's say you are asking some customer care database, like what is my last ticket status? And it given a summary that you have rise to five, there is a five outage happened in the recent last 30 days. And if you ask what is a complex outage, then it will not have the full context the agent. Okay, you need to add a memory to the agent to have a nice conversation. Okay, that is very important. And if you don't give a context and if you have a conversation or you're building an application, it lose a history and it'll lose the experience if you're exposing outside. So now, currently going forward, most of the application what we build, it is not going to be a single agent. It is going to be multi-agent. When if you have multi-agent is happening, and if one agent is doing some task, if another agent is doing a task B, then if you want to hand off this information between agent one to agent two, there should be some memory. Okay, there should be some memory in place. Okay, we're gonna discuss about it in a detail. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you are going for a healthcare, visiting a doctor only. Okay, there is a flow, right? So first you will ask, I have some problem. You go to some general physician. They will ask, I have some issues, and what is your recommendation diet plan? And we ask all the question. Doctor give all the information. After 1 month, if you go and ask, it's not working out. Okay, if you are asking this question to the doctor can see the information on the records, whatever they have maintained in the form of digital or in form of any form of records, and they will start from there. Okay, and they will refine your treatment. Okay, or okay, but if the same thing, if the agent you want to do it, and imagine if you are asking some agent, I have some question, diabetes, and a recommendation, some diet plan. It has given a history, and after 2 or 3 weeks, you come and asking some question. It will not have any information, okay, and they don't have information on what medicine they have prescribed before, okay, and what the research need to be taken care. If you have 50 or some document latest research need to be taken care to include into your treatment, it will not have any information. Okay, but unlike the physical doctor who can diagnose and maintain the record in digital or in a paper format, and they will have all the information of what kind of medicine they have prescribed, and if you are it is not working well of so certain period of time, what kind of changes need to be taken care, all those information it will have. Okay, so if you are translating the same experience to the agentic application, if you are building an agentic workflow, okay, that is not doable because we don't have memory. How do we solve this problem? That's why the memory come into the picture. So it's not always the prompt or the how much information context we are giving. It's all about right context we are giving and orchestrate the right context to different agent and it work in a harmony. Okay, things like how we do the orchestration, like somebody is doing a violin, somebody is doing a guitar, somebody is using a drums. If all not in a sync, it looks completely different, correct? So it need to have right context, like a music was given to the context where everybody will play the tune accordingly. The same way you have a goal and you give a right context between the agent to achieve the problem. Okay, that is what we want to talk about further on. There are four main pillars. It can be many, but it is a four main one. One is semantic memory. So if you are asking some questions and there is a 30 days conversation happen, and rather than storing the whole information for you to retrieve, you can keep some kind of summarization context. Okay, so this is works very well for the long term storage. Okay, and if you want to have a crop agent to agent communication, rather than sending the whole information, what is the input, what is the output, you can give the summarization information between the agent. Then workflow context. This is very important. In enterprise, not much applications are completely autonomous, correct? So you need to have a human in a loop on multiple layers. And most of the business process, which was done predetermined workflow, now with the agent come into the picture, we are adding more intelligence here. Between the flow, you need to maintain the context, like how we can have a, if you anybody work on a flow, there are multiple conditions, multiple branches will take it, right? Same way, if in a agentic flow, you will have a con we have a decision whether this flow need to be executed or not, for that the agent to agent handoff, what happened to the previous workflow, whether to proceed or not, all those things are very important. Then goal orientation. This is very important when come to the agents, where we have a multi-agent. We have may have orchestration, and we have a one or two agents where it will be invoked based on the use case, where you have a shared objective goal to the orchestration, and each agent will perform their own role in that manner. The goal towards this multi-agent application, like how we told, we need to give the best treatment or recommendation for the health, the patients, with all the best knowledge available in the world. That is a goal. So we are chunking out different agents, right? So that is a goal coordination to be there. And dynamic adoption, like based on the real-time context. Let's say if you're taking some stock market, what yesterday happened is completely different from here. So you need to gather the information right from the live on the internet, and take the previous information and understand there is any context change need to be done to follow this. So this is another one. This is a dynamic adaptation. It's a high level, but a lot of other things you can come into the picture, but this is a high level. Okay, now with put that into this equation. Okay, let's say we have an intake agent, patient registration and triaging is the agent we are building. Okay, so there's a multi-agent, or think like there is a multi-agent healthcare recommendation agent is running, agentic multi-agent is working, the intake agent, which whatever the information it taken from the individual, it store the clinical guidelines, patient histories, and what they have done between the multiple visits, everything will be there. Then diagnostics agent, where it has a complete information of what happened before and what is the recent question, all those information, the complete workflow, you'll have this information. Then goal coordination, like if you're having any kind of specific one, the treatment agent, okay, let's say I have given all the history, but I say I want to treat about certain issues, this is okay, it give you this information. And the pharmacy agent, based on your whole history, it will recommend the new medicine or prescription. And follow up, it understand the any kind of diagnosis error or acceleration treatment need to be done, any kind of anomaly or need to be flagged at a high critical, all those things can be done. So if you're building this agent by chunking out this kind of small agent for the specialized one, and leveraging the memory where the agent keep all the previous history, transforming the workflow context, and coordinating between multiple agents, then we will find the robust solution. It looks like overwhelming. We will take some example, walk through the code one by one. So you will get small code. It will help you. Okay, why by agentic core memory? Okay, so managing the memory for your application end to end, for your agentic application, it's going to be a big challenge. Okay, and in enterprise, if you're building an agentic a application or agentic application, it's not like every day you need to take care of this memory related and all those things. It should be a framework available, right? So agentic core Bedrock, agent core memory. That is the problem it is trying to solve. So high level, we are talking about short-term memory when there is the event. If you are having a conversation chat, so if you whatever the conversation in a live chat conversation happening, it will be in a short-term memory. Then there is a async configuration based on the strategy. It will write back to the long-term storage. It's kind of vector storage, okay? And say 30 days, I'm keeping a short-term memory, and if more than 30 days, if you have it is can go to the long-term memory if you're strategizing it, okay? It will automatically store there. So if I'm having question after 2 months, it will first check if it is not in a short-term memory. It will go do the retrieve from the long-term memory and send us a response. This is for the conversation agent, okay? Creating the agent memory in agent core is very simple. So think like that. Okay, I have creating a new one. Agent core create memory. I created a name called Market Trend Analyst US and creating a new conversation. See, look at it. I'm giving actor ID. It is for the individual, and I'm creating the session for the individual. They can have multiple session. I'm creating a session, and I'm asking. I'm looking for a top 5 IT stock. If I give this information, it will retrieve the information using LLM and store this information in a memory. If I have any other question, okay, what about the second stock? If I ask, if it listed one or say Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, and Google, what about the second stock? It will go based on the memory which is stored there. It will pick the second stock which is under that ordering and give us a response. And how do we list this information? You can use this events, list events, it will give you this information. It's very simple. Creating and managing memory using agent core memory is super simple, and we are going to talk about that furthermore. Okay, long-term memory. So once the short-term memory is there, we are creating a strategy. Based on the strategy, it will extract, consolidate, and use the embedding and indexing the same way the RAG work and write it to the updated memories. Okay, the same thing I have explained. Okay, you can have multiple option like you can have a namespaces if you want to have multiple use case under the same memory. Let's say if you are running a healthcare, you can say patients, and then you can say treatment, you can say pharmacy, you can have multiple namespaces and you can call for it. And memory strategy based on the your memory which is under the namespace, every memory strategy can change like a 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and after that what need to be done. All those things we will change. We are going to check on those things, okay? Then branching, based on your requirement, whether we can have a checkpoint and branch from the old one, so that keep a checkpoint so that even your further update is happening, you can always call the checkpoint and lineage back the history. Okay, all those things you can do it from the agent core memory. This is how the looks like the whole detail. So if any agents, it can be a conversation agent or it can be application. If any real-time event happen, it will sync with the short-term memory, and the extraction module will asynchronously based on your strategy, retrieve it and store it in the long-term memory. In the long-term memory, you can have a semantic memory, user preference, and summary. We will look at those things. And then if you are looking for more than certain this is architecture. Let's say if you're using a strategy as a 30 days, and if it is not responding, it will come to the long-term memory, retrieve the memory and send you the response. That's all at the high level. This is the application we are trying to build. We build something called market run and agent, where the user can chat, and the moment they message the chat, it will the agent will do call the tools. This tool do two tasks. One, get the stock data and get the news data, and this will make an internet call where it will use the Yahoo Finance, Yahoo News, or Reuters to get those information. Once it retrieve, based on the customer or the broker name, it will store this as an memory. Okay, we have two tools created: save broker memory profile, sorry, broker profile, and get broker profile. Okay, so it will use the user preference like how we have seen. it, let's say I'm the one, say Zara is a uh, one of the broker which try to get particular stock, and it uses name. This is a user preference and use store it. Okay. And semantic memory strategy is a long-term memory strategy. If you are you and it based on the strategy, it will write it back to the long term. And if you are retrieving after 30 days, what are all the stocks listed by the Zara, it based on the long-term memory history, it will give you the response. Okay. So that's all. Yeah, when we are making a call asking this information trend analysis, it uses the LLM called the Bedrock to give us information. All those information will be in Agent Core Observability. Let's dive into the demo. All the code is here. You guys can look at it. I will try to I have created a small playground also. If anybody interested, feel free to scan this information. You can go log in, do the playground. I plan to open it for next to 2 weeks so that after that I can take it off. Okay. So let me do some kind of code walkthrough. It will help you to do further more understanding. Let me share my another screen. Share desktop 2. Okay, here you go. So I'll walk through shell by cell. Okay, and I have all this. This is under the market agent working.ipnb file. You guys can go retrieve this from the GitHub. I'll put it in our I'll put it in a description. You can take it from there. So I install the requirement. If you go to the requirement, yeah, you will see a lot of synthetic data created. I installed only the Boto 3 and Boto Core. Good. And post that I install the Chromium. I tried with the Chromium also. You can try without Chromium also. So here I install all the libraries. Strands, I imported the agent, and I imported the Strands is the framework we are used to develop our agent, right? So here we are using a Bedrock model and we importing the tool. Then from the Bedrock agent core memory, I am importing the memory client. Okay. So playwright script is one of the option, but you can always skip the playwright script. Okay. So playwright is to go open the browser session and try run through it. But you can run, I ran the code with the playwright also, without playwright also. You guys can take a look at it. Okay. And if I come to the Bedrock Agent Core browser client, this is for the browser session opening it. It will maintain the session at the wherever the session ID is, right? It uses the session ID from the browser session, but this also you can skip. Okay, this is very important for the strands hook, agent initialization event, hook provider, hook registry, and this one. It will invoke the session based on the events. Okay, let's keep this one here. I am creating the memory client, and this is a region. Currently I'm keeping as a US East one, and setting up. Okay, so here I'm keeping the memory client. I'm initializing the memory client and using a memory core. Okay, this is where I'm creating a memory. Okay, see, I have created the memory. This is a unique ID it is creating. I'm creating the memory. Same thing I told, right? We're creating a memory, create a memory error. And if it is not created, it gives us an exception. So if I go to the code, you can see the market trend. This was created. And then I have creating the tools. This is a tool I was mentioning about. So here I'm creating a tool like a get stock data. Okay, so 1 minute. Let me check up the time. Yeah, this is a get stock data. It is going to use our symbol. Based on the symbol, it will take that information. So you can use it. Even if you're not giving a symbol, it automatically take it. Okay, because we are using LLM behind it. And then search news, it is going to use Yahoo News. And also if Yahoo News is not working, it is going to use Reuters. You can connect with the multiple data source like this. Here say broker. This is where it is. I want to explain you. Here, whenever we are taking it, it use the broker name and keep the broker name as a actor ID. Okay, like if you are keeping your name as a like allies, it will keep your actor ID as a one, and then session ID will be generated every time. If there is a new session, the session ID will be generated. Okay. So when get details, we have to give both information, both the broker information and the session information. You can do it, or you can use the memory broker information and give that. It will go for last in time. Whatever the now I said max result is 5, so I'd give a max result of 5. Let's create a agent. So now I created a single agent. So I created a market agent. You are expert market intelligence specialist in financial market and investment analysis. And you give us real-time stock, search, analyze financial news. Okay. And I also telling this is the tools, please use these tools when we are doing it. These are the tools available. Okay. I have given this information as part of the market analysis. Okay. Now I started doing a test case. So I'm asking the test case is I am a Zara Sen from Goldman Sachs. I focus on a tech stacks and a growth investment. And then I'm making a response and I taking in a prompt. So it is saying, okay, I am focused on a tech stocks and growing investment. Okay, it is asking, give me some information about what is your preference. Okay, it saved the profile for the first time. Now I am asking, what is the current price and trend for a Nvidia? Okay, now it is giving calling the tool get stock data. Okay, it is calling the tool. It is I am asking Nvidia. It says is the Nvidia. It is giving this information. Okay. So now I am asking, what do you know about Sarah's and preference? What are the stocks, recent stocks they have checked? Okay. Okay. Since we are keeping that agent has that information, it says uh, it is calling the get broker profile. I'm experienced technical profile. Okay. It is saying this is a your user preferences are as in Goldman Sachs, and recently you have checked this is a stock. Okay, so this one, if without a memory, it will not have this complete lineage. Okay, so we did some kind of smoke test of our agent, how it works. Okay, so you also, I prefer you guys also test this one first. Then later on, you can always do this furthermore one. Okay, this is about deploying it. So here I'm deploying it. So same code, whatever I have written, I just modified for creating a runtime agent file. Here I'm first creating a get stock data, search news, say profile, and then get broker profile. All those four tools I have created, and I create initializing the agent, and then I am creating entry point. When come to the runtime, we need to create an entry point. I'm creating and then market trend analysis an agent. I'm creating it, and yes, see, get a user input and actor ID for maintaining the session. Here also it will give you the session every time. If you're doing it, it will create as a session. So I created a file. Now I use a runtime agent core runtime to do the deployment. If anybody not don't understand how to use the agent core runtime, feel free to check on the previous videos. Let me show the previous videos we touched upon, so it will be easy for you. 1 minute. I prefer to walk you through that. Okay. YouTube. So if you go data ops labs, you can always see the last video, two videos we have seen. So this is a video you can see how to do the deploy using a runtime. And here we created the complete end-to-end agents. Okay, end-to-end agents using Kiro, and with the using a prompt, we have bootstrapped the end-to-end applications for using a strands framework. We deployed the end-to-end agentic application. Feel free to look at this one. This is a channel, okay, and you can check it out. And I will go log in and show you this information. Okay, let's meantime I'll show the code. So here we're deploying the runtime. It takes some time. It automatically deployed the runtime. It created a Bedrock core.yaml file. Anytime you have in a previous session, I walked through in a detail what the Bedrock agent core runtime will be there. You can also look at it. Here I am asking what is my memory ID and launching it. So it automatically it completely launched the runtime. Okay, once it's launched, I checked the status. So this is the runtime it found, and it created a memory manager also. This is a memory manager. It is installed. See, this is a memory manager. Let me go and walk through the console so that you guys can understand in a detailed manner. Okay, so far what we have done is we have tested locally using a strands. We created a memory and user memory created a strands and we validated locally. Then we packaged that strands application using agent core runtime and deployed the agent core runtime. Okay, now the next step what we want to do is we want to test this with the agent core runtime itself. So here I'm asking the same question. You are especially on AI and semiconductor. So first session, it showed the information, it stored the response. Then what happened when I'm asking the second question? This is a session. What is my name? Actor ID is Sarah. So based on the introduction, your name is Sarah Sen. Okay. So because we here and you are focused on the text talk. Then I'm asking, what is the current price? The same question, whatever you ask, it is using the tool. If it will use a particular tool and it give us a response. And then I asked, search the latest news on a AA chip competition, and I keep this Zara. It understand it. You're talking about the Blackwell architecture, and it is talking about the AMD, the recent MI300 series. It is announced. It is these are all latest information. MI300, if it has seen, it's the latest announcement. It is giving this information. Okay. Now, I am asking, what do you know about Sarah as an investment preference? I'm asking. So, based on that, whatever the stock we have checked, you inquired about NVIDIA and you are interested in competitive dynamics in a chip market. So, it keep all those information about whatever the conversation we had before and giving us a response. Okay, and I'm just changing a little bit. Okay, give me three stock recommendation based on my profile. So it understand your focus is on semiconductor. I'm giving you the few more stock information. Say that AMD, it's show the AMD, NVIDIA, and what else? Yeah, it may. Yeah, it is giving other other information, other stock information. Say next generation RDNA and CDNA architecture. Okay, it is giving us information. Now, I am asking a different question here. The same question, whatever the question, it's a duplicate here. Forget about it. Now, I am asking compare NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, everything. It just did a comparison. Okay. Now, based on the conversation area, what stock should I watch for? So, based on that previous conversation, it giving a few more stock recommendation, including a Taiwan. Okay. I now here I not given a count. Okay, it's giving a TSM and it is talking about ASML, all those information. Okay, so these are all coming from the memory. Okay, and based on our earliest conversation, what stock should, okay, same question, but I try to do with the markdown. Okay, now I'm asking a different one. Look at the actor AD. I am Sindel. I'm interested in a natural energy stock. Okay. It is talking about only the energy stock. Okay. And based on the same question I am asking, look at it. I am asking the same question. What are the, since actor ID is changed, I am asking what should I watch for? It is talking about there are other stocks which is related to the only about the energy stocks. And I'm asking, given the list of stock and its current price, P value, give me this information. It is these are the energy stocks. These are the stock price of this one. So with the moment our actor ID is changed, it is changing the The user preference will change. The user will, for each user, it is maintaining the separate memory. It's give us an isolation. In the longer run, I can demonstrate. We have integrated with the Cognito. When if your user is logging in, it automatically create a user preference for that particular user, and all the sessions memory will be maintained. Let me show you the agent core from the console, and then I show you the demo which I want you to try it out. Okay, here you go. So this is the agent runtime. Let's start about the memory. This is the memory. I created multiple memory. I created extraction strategy also with. So let's talk about the latest one I created. So this is a memory I have created. This is a market. Yeah, this is the market trend. So look at it. This is a semantic long-term memory. I'm creating a semantic memory, and this is this preference. I'm keeping it. Um, and memory details. This is the memory details I have, and event expiration 90. After that, it will come to the long-term memory. It follow this particular strategy. Okay, user preference and semantic preference. You can create a custom also. I am not using custom. Okay, good. And I'm looking at the agent runtime. This is the agent runtime. I created two. One is with the Google Earth. If I go to the agent core, you have this particular version. Let me go to the dashboard. Whatever the conversation we made, everything will be logged there. I tried it a little bit earlier, so you can see total session is 15 and 17 invocation happened. So if I click on a session, it will give you the multiple session I have invoked. See, this is an invocation. If I click on a session ID, it has the complete information, the traces. Okay, I'm clicking on the traces, which give you the complete lineage of what happened, what prompt we have given input, what prompt we have given output, all those information you can see there. See, this is the information you can see. And whenever I ask the start market trend, let me see the prompt. 1 minute, it's a span. Go create event. When I click on it, it started creating the event. It will use the Bedrock memory core, call the memory core, and store the memory information. 1 minute. This post invocation spans. Okay, it has only invocation. Let's go for a different trace. Market trend agents. Let me filter it for today. Okay, sorry, memory observability. Memory. Yeah, memory. I just keep it for 2 weeks because it's just okay. These many calls, extracted memory record, all those information, it can see it. Memory session. Traces. I think it's not filtered with that particular memory. Okay, you need to check on that particular agent to do that one. Okay, see this one. I have a separate session planned only for the market. Here it is. Market trend, default. Under that, you can have a runtime throttle. Yeah, memory consumption, all those information you can see from there. Okay. So from the observability, you can see all those information. I have a separate session planned only for observability. I will do some deep dive on it. I'm also researching on how we can demonstrate using some custom dashboard. I'm also working on building some dashboard which can bring us some kind of proper lineage of the session runtime, the associated memory, and what is the lineage, what is the long-term memory, how much, all those things. I want to create some kind of a session. Sorry, some dashboard. I'll work on this and get back. Okay. Okay. Let us go. This code is available. You guys can test upon this code. And if you have any question, post me there. I'm happy to answer it. Okay. Spans, traces. Okay. Good. Okay. Event is about, yeah, conversation saved in agent. See, this is what happened, right? Okay. Conversation saved to the agent core memory for session. Every time we do it, it automatically save. Okay. And when it is retrieve, it retrieve from the agent core memory. Okay. Now let me go to the agentic IQ alerts where it's a playground we have created. You can get start. Mm, yeah, I can log in using my email address. If I go log in using my address, it creates you the playground. So let's say market trends. I can ask, okay, tell me about last five uh, valued non-tech stocks. So here, this is how we are maintaining a session. If you want to create a new session, you can create it. It is just now it's on a cold start. I have not done it for some time, so it is doing cold start. When we are, it's completely serverless, right? When we are calling for the first time, it is taking some time. If you are doing for a multiple interaction, it automatically work well. So we can watch out in the CloudWatch also. Bedrock Agent Core, last 5 minutes. Okay, there is not a, no in single invocation. Let's wait for the invocation. See, this is a non-text talk. It is asking, okay, what question I recently asked, just to test the memory. Okay, non-text talk. See, this is what it is doing. Okay, so then I can come to this CloudWatch default under the agent last 5 minutes. Still, it is not reflected here. Agent core. The metrics will be reflected here. Okay. Okay. So play with this tool. It's be available for next to 14 days. It will give you the history. Okay. You can, we were configure the history at the backend. You can play with it and let us know. Okay, that's all for the session, and I will update all the description for your reference so you guys can share, look at it, and play with it and share your feedback. Have a great day, guys. See you soon on next upcoming session, mostly on observability, or we will little bit deep dive into tools or gateway. And we have three more sessions to cover. One is agent core gateway, another one is agent core identity, another one is agent core observability. These are the next three tools I want to cover it soon. I'll keep you posted about those sessions, detailed session, because I want to bring some working demo session. In this, I have created the integrate with agentic IQ. Next time when I'm building it, I'll walk through how to build this also. Thank you. Have a great day.